Hey. So here's another question that I was asked, and I'm just answering them and see if it helps somebody. This one's about creating your life based on what you're good at, and I guess it's but totally valid question because I had to ask myself that. It's what am I good at? Where do I add the most value? And especially for me, when I was when I was going through this epiphany thing and doubting myself, that was at a moment where I really thought I wasn't good at anything. Because there's a reason why they were kicking me out, aside from whatever having bad relationships with my manager or something. It was really I really thought, well, I must be doing everything wrong because they just don't really want to do anything. So I know many people there are all these assessments out there, and many people don't really like the StrengthFinders. I actually like it. It actually works really well if you really pay attention to what you're doing. If you do the assessment just the way you're supposed to, just gut reaction, answer whatever comes out, most likely it's going to be very accurate. I did the StrengthsFinders 1.0. The 2.0 actually gets more specific and it's actually improved. But whatever, you want to find what you're good at, you can do the assessment. Another thing that I had to do that really helps, and people just don't pay attention to this. It's usually the first sign that you're really good at something is something that you do that you think it's common sense to everybody. Um, it's funny because I think it's common sense for people to be honest, or not honest, but transparent, in the sense that I think it's common sense that it's for somebody to quickly share what they're thinking and it just comes straight up. Like it just, whatever they're thinking, it's being able to be translated into voice. And it's actually not true because I've run into a lot of people, especially when I'm coaching somebody, that they are very bad at translating what they're thinking. So you have to like always clarify and try to probe them more and more and more until you can translate what they're trying to say into words that everybody gets. That's my strength. Communication. Communication is about not about speaking well. It's about being able to translate what you're thinking into words very quickly and simply. That just it's very easy to me. Another thing that's very easy that I thought is common sense to everybody is to be able to see the big picture and see how things connect to each other. One of the reasons I was the point person for training on something is because I was able to connect all the different pieces together and form a story around it. So I was able to not only communicate that story, not only to communicate well in terms of thought to words, but I was also able to create stories around it. I was able to see the big picture. I can say I'm somewhat of a visionary in some ways because I can see farther ahead in terms of steps and then in terms of a bigger picture, see the big picture. I don't necessarily like the details, although I can get into details for certain things, but those are common sense to me. Something that I think everybody can do. That will be one side. Maybe just think about it. I'm not talking about things like being nice or opening the door for somebody or helping the elderly cross the street or something like that. I mean, that's common sense and stuff like that. But I'm just talking about things that you think, like skills that you do so easily, that come so easily to you, that don't that you think everybody else does it. Another way that you identify the same thing is when you think what you just did is like silly and dumb and super easy, and then someone else sees you do it and he says, that's just amazing. That's another pointer for that. Another thing to think about here is what are you good at in terms of what are some of the things that you have a lot of experience in, and and you can now do them easily. You can improve them very easily. Um, you can learn about it some more fairly easily. All the things that come easy to you is probably where your talents are gonna fall. And we're not talking necessarily about just actions. We're also talking about thinking, about determination, discipline, and things like that. I was talking to somebody several months ago, and I started telling her what my expertise was, and in the expertise, I came up with like 5 different keywords that were coming up, and it was like challenge. I challenge the status quo. I'm very self-aware. I'm very courageous in terms of stating where I stand and what I like and don't like. And then I'm also very good. I got experience with filtering critics, filtering criticism, and then I got very good at welcoming opportunities to do what I really want. I mean, I'm not excellent at it, but those are also skills, and those are things that you can add value with. So on the next video, I'll probably talk about value, how to add value based on those things. But for now, the exercise really is go sit down and try to identify the things that come very easy to you, that you can learn very quickly, that you seem to be better than the average from the people around you, or things that people come to you looking for advice. Those could be things that you're talented at, and you just, since it comes so easily to you, you think it's just silly and everybody can do them. So that's my thinking for today. Have a good one. Let me know if you have any questions.